So far, from the discussion we have had about Bairstow method, we came to know that any polynomial can be rewritten as this, or our Bairstow method requires our polynomial to be rearranged in a certain manner. So to reach to this point, we can say it in another words that we should be able to know if any function is divided by this factor, how the quotient and the remainder will look like. If we can anyhow extract the quotient function and the remainder, we can rearrange it into this format. So it is imperative for us to know how the q of x and the remainder will look like if we divide any function f of x by x minus a. So that thing is explained by Ruffini's method. And by applying Ruffini's method, we can convert any f of x into this format, or essentially we can say that by applying Ruffini's method will let us know how the function will look like if it is divided by any given factor, and how the quotient will look like and the remainder will look like. Now we will see some examples how we can apply Ruffini's method into any polynomial and extract our q of x and the remainder. For example, we have this f of x given to us, 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 2x minus 8. And our goal is to convert this function into this format. For simplification, we will start with one value of a that we know for sure that is a root of this function. So after the calculation, we will eventually find out that the remainder is 0. Okay. We know that a1 is one of the roots of this given function. So we will try to convert this function into such a way we get 1 q of x into x minus 1. Let us now look at the process how we can extract this quotient function or qx. If any given function is uh, if a function is given of this order, it can be rearranged in this way. Okay. Now we will start our calculation. From here, the value of 2 will drop down here, and this one has come from, as we have said, that we will divide the function by x minus a, so sorry, x minus 1. For that reason we have taken a 1 here. Okay, now the next step is we will multiply 1 with 2 and set the value here, and then we will add these two terms. Okay, that gives us 6. Then again we will multiply 6 with 1, that will give us 6, and we will place 6 here, and we will add these two values, that will give us 8. Again we will run the same thing, we will multiply 1 with 8 and place the value here, and we will add these two terms, that will give us 0. So to simplify, if any function is given to us of this order and we want to factorize it by x minus 1, then we will rewrite our function in this format and do this calculation. What this calculation means, let us look here. So far we have done this. This means that the q of x will be of this order and the remainder is 0, which essentially means that we have now rearranged our given function into this qx into x minus a format, which is here 2x squared plus 6x plus 8 into x minus 1, and here plus r, the value of r will be 0. Let us now apply this same thing into another function, and here we will choose our a arbitrarily. So here we have chosen the a to be 1, but we are not sure whether the value 1 is one of the roots of this function or not. We have chosen the value of a arbitrarily. So after the calculation has been done here, we will be able to see our function rearranged as q of x into x minus 1 plus r. So let us run the calculation here. As we have seen before, After rearranging the setup like this, the value 1 will drop down here. Then we will multiply 1 with 1 and replace the value here 1, and we will add these two values. That will give us 20. Next step is multiplying 1 with 20. That will give us 20. And again we will have to add these two terms. That will give us 142. Again we will multiply 1 with 142. That will give us 142. And we will add these two terms. That gives us 438. Again we will multiply this and place the value here and then do the sum. So here these are the coefficient of our quotient function, and this is the value of the remainder. Now we have converted this function into qx into x minus 1 into r. So this is the converted version of our function here. Now let us run the same thing for the value of a as minus 1. That means we are now interested in converting this thing into f of x equals to q of x into x plus 1 plus r. Let's see what happens. As we have done before, the 1 will drop down here and then we will do the multiplication. That gives us minus 1. Then we have 18. Then we do the multiplication. Then we have minus 18. After the summation here, we have 104. The multiplication gives us minus 104. Now the addition will give us 192. And if we do the multiplication and place the value here, that gives us 0. That means minus 1 is one of the roots of this function. And for that case, the remainder is 0. We can now rewrite our function in this format. So far for this function, we have checked two values. One is 1, another one is minus 1. And we found out that minus 1 is one of the roots of this function. We will now check what happens to this function if we set the value of a as minus 4. Why? We will see it later. If we set the value of a to be minus 4, let us see where the calculation leads. The 1 will drop down here. Then we will multiply 1 with 1 will drop down here, then we can multiply minus 4 with 1, that gives us minus 4. After addition we have 15, then the multiplication leads us to minus 60. After this addition we have 62. After the multiplication we have this value. After this addition we have this 48, and then after multiplication we have this thing, which eventually results 0 here. That means minus 4 is also one of the roots of this function. And this function can be rewritten as this also. So far we have converted any given functions into the format of qx into x minus a plus r. But Bairstow method wants the f of x to be converted into this format, and preferably the r to be 0. So we need to find a way so that we can convert our given function into this format, just like the way we have converted our function into qx into x minus a. Okay, to make things simpler, uh, let us look at the function. This is a known function to us. We know that for a fact it has two roots. One is minus 1 and minus 4, and eventually it has total 4 roots. But till now we have found its two roots. One is minus 1 and one is minus 4 using our Ruffini's method. And if you have some knowledge about quadratic function, you should know if two known roots are given to you of a quadratic function, how the equation will look like. So using that, we can convert a new quadratic function and we can plug it in here. If we can plug this function over here, that will make the remainder to be 0, as the solution of this function is minus 1 and minus 4, and obviously this includes two roots of this function. So we can convert our f of x into qx into x squared plus 5x plus 4. Here is another catch. In that case, the value of u here will be -5 and value of v here will be -4. So now our goal is to find out how the function will look like for how this key of x will look like. To find this out, we have to apply a similar method. Here we have to define the value of u and v first. Those are -5 and -4. Then bring all the values or the coefficients of this polynomial here, like we have done before, and run a calculation which is pretty similar to the previous one, but there is a big difference. Let us see what the difference is. Initially, the value of 1 will drop down here. Then this will be multiplied with the value of u, and the multiplication will reach here. This is the first step. And then there will be addition between these two quantities, that will be 14. Same way, this value will get multiplied with this value and the multiplication will reach here. And now the value of v will come into place. This will get multiplied with this value and the output will be brought here. Then we will add these three terms. That will give us 48. If we run the loop again, -5 will get multiplied with 48 and the answer will reach here. -4 will get multiplied with 14, the answer will reach here. Now we have three values, we will add them. That gives us 0, and that should give us 0 because we know that for the value of u to be -5 and v to be -4, we have the value of remainder as 0. Again, -5 will get multiplied with 0 and that returns 0. -4 will get multiplied with 48, that will return -192, and the summation will give us 0. From here we can divide this part, the qx will have these coefficients and the remainder will be 0, which in results turns out to be this. The value of the qx function looks like this, and the x square minus ux minus v is given by us, so that the remainder remains 0. So this is one method how we can convert an f of x into this format where the remainder is 0. To apply Bairstow method, this conversion of a function is very important, and it is imperative that we choose the u and v such that the remainder becomes 0. Here we have chosen the u and v in such a way, we knew it beforehand that this would return the remainder to be 0, but that might not be the case always. If we choose u and v in a different way, if we apply the same formula here in this equation with different values of u and v, let's see what happens. Now we have chosen u to be -5 and v to be 4 and see what happens. 1 will drop down here and -5 will get multiplied with 1, that will be -5, and after adding these two values we get 14. Then similarly -5 will get multiplied with 14 and return -17. Now v will come into place. 4 into 1, which is 4. After adding these three values we get 52. Now -5 into 52 gives -260. 4 into 14 gives 56. The summation here gives 92. -5 into 92 gives -460. 4 into 52 gives 208. This returns -60. So if we choose u, v such that they do not return remainder to be 0, we get our f of x converted like this. Okay. From these two examples, it is imperative that we choose the value of u, v such a way that the remainder remains 0. So the first step of applying Bairstow method is that we choose the u and v in such a way that gives returns the remainder value to be 0. Why I am telling this is very important, because we will see it in the later part of our discussion. In this part, what we have seen that how we can convert our polynomial into our favorable format that is suitable for applying Bairstow method. Because Bairstow method wants our function to be converted into a certain way, and if we can convert our functions into a certain way, then we can start with the smaller function part of the function and solve it, and then focus or shift our focus onto the other part. So this is how the things will go on in Bairstow method.